All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We're here to talk about our computer science online degree programs here at K-State Online. My name is Sarah Kells. I am one of the admissions representatives here at K-State. One of my colleagues is joining us, Roxy Kennedy. So we'll be here to help answer questions in the Q&A. If you could locate that at the bottom of your Zoom screen, that's where you'll be able to ask any questions throughout this webinar, but also locate the chat feature because we'll be asking you some questions soon. So yeah, we're here tonight to talk about our computer science programs, like I said, and we're joined here with Dr. Scott Deloach and Dr. Graham Leach-Krause. They are both in our graduate and undergraduate computer science programs. So we'll be talking for about 30 minutes tonight, just talking about the different programs, the application process, what the courses are included in the programs, and again, answering any questions that you have throughout the presentation. Then towards the end, we'll also answer some questions. If we're not able to answer in the Q&A feature, we will definitely do that at the end of the presentation. But in the chat feature right now, if you could, tell us what program you're interested in and where you're from, that would be great. Yeah, if you could just locate that chat feature and we can do that, and then we'll get started here real quick. But yeah, while those are coming in, I'm just going to hand it over to Dr. Deloach and Dr. Leach-Krause.
Okay, hi, my name's Scott Deloach, and like it says here, I'm the department head in computer science.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm Graham Leach-Krause. Like it says here, I'm an associate professor, and I'm the program director for integrated computer science.
Right. So we already covered this, I think, right? What we're going to talk to you tonight is about 3 specific programs. One is a computer science certificate, which is a 17 credit program that gives you a certificate. The second one will be our integrated computer science BS or BA program that builds upon that computer science certificate. And then we also have a master's in computer science as well. And all these 3 are obviously available online. Now, the computer science certificate, like I said, is 17 credits worth of classes, and you see them here. It starts basically with an introduction to computing class that talks about computing as a whole, what computing covers, what are the various areas in computing, a little bit of the history, and a really nice, gentle introduction to programming. And so it doesn't matter if you have any programming background. If you're interested in the computer science certificate or the integrated computer science program, you can start at the very beginning, and you don't have to feel like you're behind the 8 ball to begin with. From there, we go on, and CC 210 is basically our core programming course where you learn the basics of programming computers. In 310 and 315, then we talk about data structures and algorithms, and those are the things that are going to actually allow you to build more complex programs that actually do interesting things. And then finally, the final course in this certificate is our advanced programming course, and that's where we try to tie together everything we've learned. We talk a little bit about object-oriented concepts, which kind of tie together a lot of what we've done. And the idea is that when you get done with these 5 classes, you will be a solid programmer. And these particular online courses mirror what we do on campus with our students. So we know when you get through these 5 courses that you are going to have the basic building blocks, and then you can build upon that if you desire in the integrated computer science program to learn more about computer science and even more advanced technologies. Now, key elements of this program is first, it's algebra based. Okay, many of the computer science programs you find in our on-campus computer science program requires calculus. And so what we really try to do is use algebra based, so it'd have a lower barrier to entry. There is less theoretical aspects in this program. We focus on programming, especially in the certificate. In some of the advanced courses, we get into a little bit of the theory as well. And it's all done online, okay? You're in an immersive learning environment where it's all through a web browser. So if you have a Chromebook and a web browser, you have what you need to take this program, well, and a good internet connection as well. So the nice thing about this, in the immersive learning environment, not only do you get the textbooks and videos and everything you need to learn, but then you also have a programming environment that is there for you. You don't have to worry about setting that up. It comes automatically with the learning environment. You can program in that. You can get immediate feedback. So if there's a program you're supposed to be writing, you write it, you press the check button, and it will actually automatically check to see if you did it correctly. And it will point out the errors, some of the errors that you may have made. Okay, so this is really, the certificate program is a really good starting place. If you're interested in computer science, you don't have to necessarily jump right in and say you're going to take the integrated computer science program. You can start with certificate. And the nice thing about it is, obviously, then these exact same courses you'll see when Graham talks about the integrated computer science program.
Okay, so the integrated computer science program kind of picks up where the certificate leaves off. So rather than being a certificate program, integrated computer science is a full bachelor's degree. You can do it either as a BS, Bachelor's of Science, or a BA, Bachelor's of Art. It's offered through the College of Arts and Sciences. And what it involves is, first of all, 17 credits of required computer science courses. So those are exactly the courses that you just saw on the certificate. And you add to that 12 credit hours of computer science electives. So the required computer science courses cover a lot of fundamentals and a lot of sort of general programming techniques. The computer science electives for those remaining 12 credit hours give you some more tools for applying those techniques to particular kinds of domains or technologies. So you have 17 credits of required computer science courses, 12 credits of electives. And then in addition to that, you have a couple of what we call integration electives. And these are classes that you take in the College of Arts and Sciences, which allow you to think about the way that computer technology relates to sort of broader dimensions of human life. So some of those classes will be examining the way that computer programming interacts with arts and humanities. Some of it will involve reflecting on the cultural impacts of technology, the way technology is changing, the human aspects of the world we live in. And some of that will involve thinking about the future of technology and the moral decisions that people have to make as technologists. So professional ethics for software developers in particular. Okay. And then all of this is combined with a concentration. So the concentration is why we call it integrated computer science. The concentration is 18 credit hours or more in a major, minor, or certificate from anywhere else in the university. So you could take computer science and you could integrate it with business. You could get a sort of a minor in some part of some offering from a business school. And then you could use that to become a sort of entrepreneur with a background in computing technology. You could take the concentration and use it to combine integrated computer science with graphic design. And then you could be a web developer who has both the sort of like aesthetic background to know what looks good and the computer skills to make something that looks like that. The limits here are really kind of the limits of what you can imagine. So I won't go through too many different combinations, but I hope that sparks your imagination a little bit. Okay, I think we can go to the next slide there. Okay, so in a little more detail, we've got the required computer science courses. So Introduction to Computing, Fundamental Concepts, Data Structures and Algorithms. And then the electives are Computer Systems Administration. So that's sort of running the sort of behind the scenes stuff in larger computer systems. Full stack web development. So that means developing web pages, learning JavaScript, CSS, HTML, the languages that you kind of are involved in creating web pages, and also learning about the back end of web servers. Database essentials, so learning about databases, how sort of information is stored and retrieved. Applied data science, so that might be something to explore if you were interested in combining integrated computer science with a domain where you would be doing statistical analysis, so the sciences, for example. And then special topics in applied computer science. So that can be a wide variety of things, but you can work with an instructor to kind of figure out a special topic that that you're excited about and work on that. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so because integrated computer science is an arts and sciences major, it also includes these sort of general education requirements, which are always part of any arts and sciences major. So that's some background in communication. You learn a little bit about public speaking, a little bit about writing, classes in a couple of different areas across the humanities, including philosophy. So some of the classes that you might take on professional ethics could be philosophy classes, classes in the social sciences, and class in the natural sciences, and a multicultural overlay. So learning something about the history of the United States and different, features of cultures within the United States. Okay. Depending on whether you do a BS or a BA, there are a few additional requirements. So if you want to do a bachelor's of science, then that includes some background in the natural sciences. You can choose which one. A little bit of extra quantitative background. So what most ICS majors do is something like college algebra, intro to statistics, and a programming course. So no calculus, but a little bit more kind of applied mathematics. And then an international studies overlay. If you want to do the BA, then there's a foreign language sequence that's involved, and still one additional quantitative course. Usually what people take is college algebra. Okay, and I think that's it. So back to you, Scott.
Okay, so those are our undergraduate offerings, and we also offer a master's degree in computer science. And unlike a lot of places you go where you look at online master's degrees in computer science, they have kind of special courses they've developed for the online learners that may not be exactly what they offer on campus. In our case, our master's in computer science is exactly the same whether you take it online or on campus. And so you could start on campus, finish online, start online, finish on campus. It doesn't matter. It's the exact same program. So basically, the basic requirements are 30 credits of graduate studies courses, and up to 10 credits of those can be transferred in. So you can have a few of those that you transfer in. And instead of giving you specific courses you have to take, we actually give you we have some specific areas that you have to take courses in. So as you see, we have in this coursework area, there is in implementation, languages, systems, application, theory, and then some kind of specialization course. So In each one of these, like under implementation, we have 3 or 4 courses for you to choose from. And as you see, like sometimes in implementation, the compiler course is listed under implementation and languages. You only get to count it once though. So if you took it in implementation, you would have to take another languages course. But what that really allows you to do is to kind of mold your master's degree to fit your interests and your professional aspirations. And then the specialization course down here basically is any 800 level course. So it's an area where not only do you have the basics, but you're looking at really kind of a very advanced course, looking at cutting edge research that's going on in that area. So, so if you look at this, there's basically 6 areas where you have 1 3-credit class in each area. So that's 18 credits. And then the rest of the courses, you kind of pick any technical elective you'd like, a graduate level computer science course. And then you also there's 3 options on what you can do as kind of your capstone. You can do a thesis option, which is 6 credits. Truthfully, most online students do not take that. Most on-campus students do not take that unless they're planning to go on to a PhD. So if you do think you might want to do that someday, a thesis option might be something you're interested in. That's where you actually do some research and write that up as a thesis. There's a report option, which really doesn't require research, but requires some kind of capstone level project where it might include some research and some implementation of a novel type application. And then there's a non-thesis, non-report option, which actually requires you to take 1 additional class as well. So those are kind of the basics there. And so the question is now, how do you apply? At the graduate level, if you're looking to apply for our master's in computer science, if you go to the K-State Online webpage, right up at the top, there's a how to apply. And this really applies undergraduate or graduate. The webpage itself has several different categories listed on it where if I want to apply for graduate school, I click on the graduate student part. If you're a freshman coming into the ICS program, for instance, you would probably apply as a freshman. There's transfer students, there's returning students, there's all sorts of categories there. But basically for graduate level admissions, you need to have a bachelor's degree from an ABET accredited computer science program. And ABET is the basic accreditation body for your typical theoretically based computer science programs. And if you have that, you have to have at least a 3.0 GPA in your last 60 credits. Now, if your degree was not from an ABET accredited program, then you have to take the GRE exam and do that as well. The application fee is $65 or $75. I think one of those is international, one of them's domestic. As a domestic student, a couple of months ahead of time, and we can get you in to the semester. If you're international, there are some specific dates that you have to meet in order to apply, and those are much earlier. Let's see. So the application requirements, actually, you go in, you have to have a personal statement. And that's basically saying, hey, this is what I've done. This is my background. This is what I'm interested in. These are my future goals, to give us an idea of why you want to be taking this master's degree. You need 3 references, a resume. To apply, all you need is unofficial transcripts. If you actually get accepted, we will ask you for the official transcripts before you can actually enroll. And then if you're a non-native English speaker, then some proof of English proficiency. And these are a bunch of the tests you can take to demonstrate that. But if you're a domestic student, then that's not a requirement. Okay, and I think now we go to undergraduate admissions. So, Graham, you want to talk about that?
Sure. So to enter the program, if you are coming in as a freshman, we generally recommend a high school GPA of 3.25, ACT of 21, or well, you can read the SAT score. For transfer students, so these are students coming in with 24 or more credits. Usually we want a minimum GPA of 2.0 on transfer coursework. And the application deadlines for the spring semester, January 1st, summer semester, May 1st, and fall semester, August 1st.
Okay.
And we have a variety of scholarships available. So K-State Online does provide scholarships each semester to degree-seeking students who are enrolled in at least 3 credits. And November 1st is the deadline for those applications. There is also a tuition installment payment plan, and you can learn more about it by following that link there. So if you're ready to apply, we're ready to help. And you can do that by going to online.kstate.edu. So I guess thank you all for attending. And I believe there is an application fee waiver. What are the details of that?
Yeah, so if for ending tonight, we do like to, just say thank you. We know that it is nighttime, it's not always convenient for everyone. So we are offering application fee waivers for the integrated computer science and computer science master's degrees for the spring semester only at this time. So if you are interested in those, you can just email us at online@ksu.edu. I went ahead and put that email in the chat, and we would be able to help get you started on that application process and answer any questions. We did have a question come in about the master's degree from Noelle. She would like to know, is there a recommended order to the master's classes, or can we take them in any order we choose?
Okay, so there's not necessarily step by step, you have to take this class, this class, this class. There are a few prerequisites for classes. So you might have to take a 700 level class before you take an 800 level class. And there might be a couple other classes that, kind of have that prerequisite. So there's a little bit of ordering in there, but in general, you can take them pretty much whenever you want and whenever they're available.
Great, thank you. We did have a question earlier, very kind of similar. I think it was more on the undergraduate side, if the classes were offered asynchronously. I went ahead and answered that the undergraduate programs are asynchronously. I can never say that word. Graham, can you confirm I'm correct on that? Because I always second guess myself.
Well, so I think it depends on the classes. So with some of the more advanced classes, there's definitely a synchronous component. You'll be working with an instructor who might help you, for example, do a project. So like the 500 level electives. Some of the earlier ones, they're more asynchronous, but I think there are some milestones throughout the semester that you do have to meet.
Awesome. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, typically you follow a schedule, but everything is really done asynchronously. So the videos are online, at least in the computer science part. The videos are online. You can watch them whenever. You can do your homework whenever, as long as you have them done by, the due date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna kind of do a last call for any other questions. While those are coming in, I just want to thank Graham and Scott for joining us tonight and presenting this information. We really appreciate it. But yeah, if there are any other questions, type them in the Q&A. Otherwise, if you come up with any questions afterward, be sure to email us at the online@ksu.edu email, and we'll be happy to answer those on email. I don't see any new questions, so we're going to let go. And again, thank you so much for attending tonight's webinar. Have a great night.